Good afternoon, welcome to the saw shop. So, here's the next build we have. This is gonna be a total build from parts kit. We're gonna be building a clone MS660. The fella I built the 661 for the other day, he was wanting a clone built to use on a wood mill. So that's, I got the parts kit in. Just come back for him from out of town that was here. So I thought I'd go ahead and I'm gonna fix to start working on slapping this crankcase together, and I'll probably make several videos along the way, kind of talk about where we at. But anyway, this is the if you have one of these, building these, most of these are pretty good quality that you see. I don't see any defects in this one right here. I built probably 8 or 9 of these now for different people, and I've only had one that had a problem with the crankcase, and right up here on the where the cylinder comes down, it was missing the corner piece, I guess happened in casting or whatever. But this one looks good. Everything looks good and fit. Got the finish is good on all of it. Everything looks good. The bearings seem to spin real well. But what you want to do is clean these up, because they got oily film and dust and all in there. So we'll wipe it down before we get the gasket and everything on there and get this and I've got the crankshaft in there in the freezer, trying to get it ready to insert in here in a minute. So, but anyway, I'll bring you back along the way, talk a little bit about what we did. We already got the screws ready. We got the gasket ready. We're gonna get this cleaned up. Once we slap the crankshaft in there, we'll get it screwed together. I'll bring you back and talk about the next step. All right, have a good one. Good afternoon, welcome back to Saw Shop. So as you can see, we got the crankcase stuck together. Got everything lubed up in there. Got her spinning good. Now we're the next step. I went ahead and popped in all the anti-vibes. Got them all attached around the saw. So the next step we're going to do, we're going to be installing the flywheel, the coil, the oil pump, and the worm gear, and the chain tensioner. Actually, I got this. I think I'm gonna upgrade. These are usually faulty, so I think I got a better chain tensioner. So I think I'm gonna put that in there. These are usually a little soft, in the metal's a little soft, so they usually cause problems. But anyway, we're gonna get that'll be the next step. We'll get that put together, and I'll bring you back and kind of go over what we did there. And we'll hit the next step. All right, have a good one. Good afternoon, welcome back to Saw Shop. All right, so we got the flywheel installed. I went ahead and done just a small advance on it. We'll see kind of what that works out to be on the flywheel, but based off of these in the past, we only went about 3 degrees forward. And we'll just kind of see where that is once we get the flywheel on. How I've done this one, if it's about 3 degrees, that's probably what we'll go with. Got the coils mounted in. Got the oil pump in. We went with it's the high volume, high flow oil pump, because we're going to run this on a wood mill. And then we got the worm gear in. Went ahead, also we got the chain tensioner in here. After we get the brake stuff in, I'll put the inner bar plate on and get that covered up. Went ahead and got the bar studs installed while we was there. So that's where we're at now. The next job we're going to tackle is chain brake. We'll get all that. We're going to install the chain brake mechanism and everything, and then I'll bring you back and we'll discuss the next step in the process. All right. Good afternoon, welcome to Saw Shop. All right. We now have a working chain brake. Got it put on. I'm gonna get the inner bar plate cover put on now. But we got that done. And the next step we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get the cylinder head on here. We're gonna time it out. Then we're gonna go ahead and port the cylinder head, and then I'll get it put back on. I'll bring you back once I get it put back on, and we'll talk about what the timing numbers is gonna be on this saw. But that'll be the next thing. All right, have a good one. All right, now we're on to the next part. We got the cylinder head on. The port timing on this came out to be 99 degrees. It was 99 on the exhaust, 103 on the intake. So we wound up with 162 duration on exhaust, 154 on the intake. We got 24 degrees of blowdown in the cylinder head. We wound up, I had to take a little bit off the base of this to get the squish where I want it, but squish wound up being 24 thousandths. And we really opened up these lower transfers and the transition coming into them. And I didn't have to move the uppers, but I did clean them up. And the piston that we had in there, I opened the windows up a little bit in the piston. But that's back on. Now the next things we're going, when I got the boot, got the purge line on there, and we went base gasket without a base gasket in this saw as well. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to install the muffler. We got to get the inside dog on here before we put the muffler on, and then we're going to move back and get the rear fuel tank put on. So all right, I'll bring you back when we get that done. All right, have a good one. All right, we got the muffler on. I went ahead and drilled a hole in it for break-in purposes. We'll had the fab shop put a pipe in that before it goes back out to the customer. But we got the muffler on. We got the fuel tank on. We got it mounted down. Got the intake boot pulled through. Got the purge line pulled through. Got the wiring pulled through. So next steps are going to be, we're going to get this wiring hooked to the coil. We're going to get the recoil starter on here. We're going to get the top handle put in. And after I get all that done, we'll bring you back. But this step's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure you have the right screws for this, and pretty much everything's self-explanatory. But anyway, I'll bring you back in just a minute. All right, we got a recoil starter on. We got our top handle on. We got everything secured down here. Now to the next step, we're going to install the clutch, and we'll be installing the clutch here, and we'll be getting the carburetor on it, hooking up fuel line, and purge valve, spark plug, and a top plate. And when we get that done, we're going to be ready to do a test fire on it. All right, when I bring you back, we'll see if this thing will come alive. All right, have a good one. All right, we got it put together. We finished it up. Got everything put together on it. Went ahead and I just fired it up. Made sure we had the low speed jet set on it. I won't worry about the high speed jet until we get the saw kind of broke in first, and then we get a bar and chain on it. But I wanted to bring it in and test fire it for you. Like I said, I just had it running, so it should crank on its own here pretty easy. It sounds pretty good. I've got it idled up just a little bit from where I'll leave it to help get it broke in, but I'm going to probably run it through 3-4 break-in cycles, heating and cooling before I put a bar and chain on it and try to set the high side. But yeah, the build turned out pretty good, and it took somewhere around, I don't know, 3.5-4 hours to put it together. But yeah, it turned out good. All right, now time to go through the break-in cycles. All right, have a good one.